The classroom had never been louder. The sound of laughter, clapping, and mocking voices echoed off the walls like a cruel orchestra. But at the center of that noise, Miss Parker stood frozen. Her favorite outfit, the one she wore whenever she wanted to feel confident, was ruined. A long, sharp cut had been sliced across the back of her blouse, exposing the fabric and nearly her skin. She didn't even notice when it happened. One of the boys, Jason, had smirked while sliding a hidden blade across her clothing as she walked by. It wasn't just mischief. It was humiliation, carefully planned. The laughter grew. "Look at her. Even teachers can't protect themselves," one bully shouted while others joined in. Miss Parker's heart raced. She was young, barely in her first year of teaching high school. She'd worked so hard to earn the students' respect. Instead, she had become their target. But behind her teary eyes, something fierce was building. She wasn't going to let this moment define her. The next day, she came to school not with anger on her face, but with calm determination. She dressed simply this time, not wanting attention for her appearance, but rather for her presence. The bullies expected her to be broken. They whispered and laughed as she entered the classroom, waiting for her to stumble again. Instead, Miss Parker did something unexpected. She wrote 3 words across the board in big letters: Respiti. Far, ho uragi. The room grew quiet. Students exchanged glances, wondering what she was up to. "Yesterday," she began, her voice steady, "some of you thought it was funny to destroy something that didn't belong to you. My clothes, my dignity, my peace. But let me tell you something. When you take away someone's pride, you don't become stronger. You only reveal your own weakness." Jason leaned back in his chair, smirking. "What are you gonna do about it?" he sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. The class gasped. Miss Parker didn't shout. She didn't threaten. Instead, she walked calmly toward Jason's desk. Everyone watched. The boy expected her to crumble. Instead, she leaned closer and said in a voice so sharp it sliced through the silence, "I don't need to hurt you to make you regret what you did. Life will do that for me. But today, I'll give you a glimpse of what courage looks like." Then she picked up the ruler from his desk. Without breaking eye contact, she raised it, and with a swift, powerful strike, she slammed it against the metal edge of his chair. The loud crack echoed through the room. Jason flinched so hard he almost fell backward. His friends burst into nervous laughter, but their faces paled. For the first time, they saw that Miss Parker wasn't afraid. "You laugh at pain," she said, pacing the room, "because you've never felt real fear. But fear doesn't come from power. It comes from realizing the person you tried to break is stronger than you'll ever be." Jason shifted uncomfortably in his seat. The boy who usually strutted like he owned the room now sat stiff, his hands shaking slightly. Miss Parker continued, "Respect is earned. Fear is temporary, but courage lasts forever. Which one do you want people to remember you for?" The classroom was dead silent. No giggles, no whispers. Just the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. That day, something changed. Jason and his friends avoided her eyes, their arrogance deflated. Students who once laughed at her now looked at her differently. With admiration, even awe. But the real victory wasn't that the bullies backed down. It was that Miss Parker reclaimed her voice. She showed every student in that classroom that strength isn't about fists, blades, or loud words. It's about standing tall even when others try to tear you apart. In the weeks that followed, Miss Parker noticed a shift. Jason stopped his constant mocking. His group, once feared, now seemed unsure of themselves. Other students, quiet ones, shy ones, the ones who had once been targets of those same bullies, began to smile more, speak up more. One afternoon, as class ended, a quiet girl named Emily stayed behind. She nervously tugged at her sleeves before speaking. Miss Parker, thank you. For what you did, you made them stop. For the first time. I don't feel scared to walk into this classroom. Miss Parker's eyes softened. That was the moment she knew. Her courage had not only defended her, it had given others the strength to find their own.